So is the asylum officer in your interview going to be familiar with the conditions in your country? Maybe. Look, for countries from which they see a ton of applicants, the asylum officers are somewhat familiar with the conditions usually, like Venezuela or China. But for other countries, maybe not so much. And I know it's going to be tempting for you to want to educate the officer during your interview about the conditions in your country, but that's really not your job. They don't want you to do that. They're going to, even if they don't know much, they're usually they're going to cut you off and say, "I didn't ask you about that. I'm going to do my own research about your country. That's my job, not yours." That's the attitude of most asylum officers. So really what the best thing to do is hire a lawyer to do a legal brief in which they show the officer in writing how you meet all the requirements, and they use country conditions information as part of that, and they provide it behind the legal brief, but they actually discuss it and analyze it in the brief. That's the best way to inform an officer about conditions in your country. So look, when you go into your interview, you cannot assume that they're going to know a lot about your country or know the most important things, but you also do not want to go on a long soliloquy or a long oration about the geopolitical historical context of your country. They're not really at the interview, they're not really interested in that. They want to know from you about your experiences and why you're at risk.